have a different position when we are thinking and hearing about the environment. In order to answer that question, I think we have to take inventory. We have to look at what presents itself and how that is evaluated in terms of healthy environment, in terms of sustainable environment. And this is an ongoing subject area that I invite you to partake now and in the future. What I'd like to do with the alphabet soup, as I call it, as well as the topics that are mentioned, is to create a powerful intention. An intention that helps us to recognize that we want to be mindful and conscious all the time, and in so doing already start making an impact on those kind of aspects that are doom and gloom. And also a shot of hope at the end of all conversations where environment is not a positive, it does not have positive results to give to us, and that is we are the ones that are part of changing the environmental circumstances and conditions, and we do have the rest of our lives to do this. So we start today, and then there is another day and yet another day. What I'd like to do at this point is actually take us back just one more time and have you out there tell me, and we can communicate with each other either through the web camera, where you see on the lower bar a space that says talk now, or beside it even a microphone that you can click. And those two areas are helpful in providing you with webcam space. Other than that, there is a chat room which is available to all of us, and here we can sign in, here we can make written comments and send them off. So can I ask you at this time to give me a sense of what it is that you understand when you hear the word environment? What does it mean to you? What comes to mind? What is primarily going through your head when you hear environment as a topic? So Elsie says living beings on this earth, and also other than humans. So right away we have living organisms, humans, we have the plant world, we have animal world. Yes, Avina speaks about pollution. That too, what we do to the environment is what comes to mind. Then what the environment gives us for living, for sustaining. We would be nowhere without water. We know that at the best of times we can be about 10 to 14 days without water, and then that's the end of our existence. Certainly air a minute, 2 minutes or so, and that is the end of it. So being having the breath of life is what environment also means. Thank you, Elsie. And Gwen is saying water, air, and soil, so all three in one. So that's sort of my understanding as well, and I thank you for bringing this out, because I would also like to know when you were first becoming aware of environmental topics and environmental issues and problems. When did that sort of surface in your lives and in your interests and in your daily ongoings? Was it as a child? Was it as a person looking for an ideal environment? Can you let me know when that would have started with you, the awareness of the environment? Yes, Elsie says as a child, and that was certainly the case with me as well. Being in nature and taking advantage of the joys of nature. So as a young person as well, says Avina, not quite sure how young, but young. So, and noticing pollution, yes. And I hear from Gwen that also, that as a child she was becoming aware. So it didn't really need our intellect and our knowledge and our studies and our detailed analysis to become aware of the environment. It literally had to do with how we experience that which environment means in first and foremost, which is a basis for allowing us to live, to be sustained with food and shelter, and to use environmental objects for the benefit of our culture and of our civilization. Let me also ask you at this point, how do you evaluate, now that we are no longer children and that so much more has been added on to our awareness, how do you evaluate today's environmental efforts, and for that purpose not only other people's and governments or organizations, but also your own role in making an effort towards the environmental upkeep or sustainability? How do you evaluate that at the moment? Are you feeling you're quite involved, or do you wish you would be involved? Does it have anything to do with you being an activist and making different types of contributions? So Elsie, and we know of your values and your activities, says he's quite involved. And sometimes we wish to be involved and then we are not, for whatever reasons. There's much to choose from. Values that we have are sometimes in competition, absolutely. So fighting fluoridation of the water supply locally here. That fight is over for us, Elsie. We have that process. They didn't ask us. It's done. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. This awareness, I think, as I read here your comments, are sort of interlaced in our lives. For instance, somebody says recycling and composting at home. I do my composting, and it's just simply amazing how aware I become of the various scraps and pieces that are left over for this process and so on. And we'll do a piece on recycling tonight as well, where we can go back to some of our good intentions. Well, I'd like to thank you in giving me this feedback and helping me to get a sense of where you all stand with some of those questions. And let me now go ahead and get us through the alphabet soup, this being quite a bit of a topic here with loads and loads of different information. And here's how it goes. You have the heading, Creating Our Paradise. And the first C, the first letter, is highlighted in red. So I will talk about a C word. In this case, it's conversation.